Hello, welcome again back to the Waffle Press Movie Podcast. I'm your host, Diego Crespo. I'm so happy to be back at Undercity Comics in Uptown Whittier. It's been a long time, so I'm just going to open up with hello again. I'm going to introduce the panel. We have a very special guest today from Frida Cinema, Trevor Dillon.
Hello, thank you for having me, guys. I love the studio. I was, complimenting it the entire time before you got here, Gene.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually true. He was. I mean, it's not my studio. It's Undercity's, but that was cool. You know,
Yeah.
It's nice to have your quote unquote home recognized as a cool place to be. And then of course Gene Aversa, as always.
Hey, how's it going?
And Renee Bravo, sound engineer.
Hello.
I didn't tell him I was going to introduce you, so that's my fault. That's my fault.
I was a little cut off.
No, it's all good. It's just candid, People like authenticity. People like real, gritty.
Yeah.
That's why the DC movies have done so well.
Right, yeah.
That was not slander. I actually like Wonder Woman. But we got a different episode today. We're going to talk a little bit more about smaller production films. We're going to talk Infinity War all till the live long day for whatever all summer. It's going to make more money than God, and superheroes will continue ruling the world, and most of them will hopefully be good. But today, we're going to scale it back a little bit. So along with plugs, and yes, I did hit my elbow on the table and I heard a lot. Trevor, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
My name's Trevor. I'm assuming I'm on the show because I'm the programming director at the Frida Cinema in beautiful downtown Santa Ana in Orange County. We are the only nonprofit art house in Orange County. We also act as a repertory house, which means we play older movies. That's kind of my specialty, is bringing in the older movies. But I have shifted more towards the first-run movies, the newer movies as well.
Okay. Do you have anything recently that you've seen that you'd recommend to other people?
Yeah, well, there's this new thing that I'm hoping to play in May called Revenge. It's from the studio Neon, which made I, Tonya last year. A bunch of really good movies. They're kind of like the upcoming A24, hopefully. Yeah.
Right.
And that's from a French filmmaker, a woman, and she made this kind of revenge fantasy film. It's very, not grindhousey, but very exploitation based, but looks beautiful. It looks almost like Mad Max Fury Road. It's awesome. Very bloody. So right down the alley for our audience.
Is it like Thirst? Or not Thirst, what was
Raw.
It? Raw, yeah.
Raw.
Yeah, well, that's a French female filmmaker as well, right?
Yeah.
No relation to each other.
Yeah, no, it's more like I don't know if you saw Anna Lily Amarpour's The Bad Batch last year. That was
I did.
That's on my Netflix queue.
I did see that.
I don't think you like it.
It's not important. I just want to
No,
hear about it.
it's visually kind of in a desert, kind of bloody, revenge film like that, which is weird. Same studio, Neon. Yeah, we played that last year as well.
Well, I'm still into it, even though,
It has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, so if that means anything to you guys.
Up for debate. I think there's merit to Rotten Tomatoes.
Right.
Sure.
No, you guys always play the best films. I frequent the cinema a lot. You've seen me in there.
Yeah, I'm always there. So.
Yeah, that's how I got you on the show. Coming out of all the Oscar-nominated shorts. But yeah, no, I really enjoy your guys, the programming that you do. I believe, last year you had this really great print of Ghost in the Shell. Not the bad Scarlett Johansson movie, but the animated film. Yeah, that looked amazing on the screen.
Yeah, that was one of our top 10 finishers last year. Ghost in the Shell did an incredible.
It was sold out.
I played the trailer for the remake of Ghost in the Shell before the film just to see what the audience would do. I liked it.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I don't remember. What was your reaction?
Well, actually, not what I thought it would be. There was like some cheers and some mixed stuff, and then the people who didn't like it didn't boo. They just didn't say anything.
Right.
So,
Oddly enough, I kind of get that because it's a property that people recognize, and I mean that's why people reboot stuff so much nowadays. It's like I recognize that. I want to see that again through new eyes, and so regardless of whether or not how many of them turn out to be good, I get it.
Right.
Do you want to plug anything, Frida?
Yeah, well, our Instagram is at the Frida Cinema. Of course, no one had taken that weirdly. And then www.thefridacinema.org is where you can find all of our show times, what's coming up. We have a new blog section where we have a lot of our. We're a nonprofit. That's very important for me to plug, and we have 90% of our core that works there are volunteers. Mm-hmm. So we actually have a lot of them writing blog posts they're kind of generating content for us because a lot of the people who work there aren't just high school kids that need hours. They're people who love movies and want to be there. So they're constantly, generating content for our blog. That's brand new. So
yeah, no, I mean, it has such a cool atmosphere to it. It's kind of like the OC New Beverly.
Oh, well, that's the goal,
Yeah,
that's
I feel like that.
that's the mecca. So yeah, that's a huge compliment. Thank you.
All right, Gene, plugs really quick.
Oh, anything coming out recently?
Yeah, just anything you want to
Oh,
plug.
okay. So I finally got a DVD of the last Asylum film I worked on as an assistant editor.
What's it called?
It's called Geo-Disaster, and it's better than Geostorm. And I finally dropped by the office to get a DVD. I'm showing it to the camera right now for the video segment of the podcast. And I'm wearing sunglasses because I just got my eyes dilated. I want to do like a French New Wave look.
No, you're all you're Jean-Luc Godard.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, no, I worked on this like last year. It's directed by Thunder Levin, who wrote all the Sharknado films. He was fun to work with. It's like a mockbuster of Geostorm, which, I don't know, did you see it?
I did see Geostorm.
Yeah, did you like it?
I liked it a lot.
Well,
It's not great, but it's my kind of movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, yeah, it's a fun B movie,
Yeah.
It's just a family.
I like garbage.
I
I mean that as a compliment.
Okay. I can't say that on record, but, definitely check it out. You can get it on Amazon and, I don't know, streaming somewhere.
It's streaming wherever movies are streaming, so
Yeah.
you should go watch Gene's Masterful Work.
What's the tagline?
Oh, the tagline is Welcome to Armageddon.
Okay.
Simple, straight to the point, can't get better than that.
Welcome to Deep Impact.
Yeah, that's not what I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hell of a cover. Do you have anything to do with the cover?
No, I don't know the graphic artist who does all
Okay.
their stuff, but yeah, definitely check it out.
Simple, straight to the point, can't beat that. And moving on to movie news, you have another little tidbit of information that you were a part of, Gene. Not creatively, but you experienced. No?
I can't talk about that.
Oh, you can't talk about
Sorry.
I'm talking about the Ready Player One experience.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it was not.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm talking about that.
That was not even in my mind.
Yeah, sorry, I'll tell you about that.
Later, you can.
The Ready Player One experience. It was on Hollywood and Vine. I believe it closed on April 1st. But it was a fun experience. It was, something cool to do for free. I filmed some stuff, so probably cut away to that. But it was, inspired by the movie. It had a lot of some of the sets
Easter eggs.
Yeah, it did have Easter eggs.
I hear that word a lot.
Yeah, but no, it was cool because it had like the sets from the film, so like where the character lives, the stacks, and like some of the production design work. They just like shipped it out there, and you walk through, you have to find like 3 keys throughout like mazes and stuff. So it's kind of like a Disneyland attraction thing, but a little more hands-on. I did wish that it incorporated more VR in it, because a movie about VR doesn't have an attraction that has any, which doesn't really make sense.
That is interesting.
But I mean, it was for free. I got to see it, and you got to look at just this pretty good production design. But as an attraction, I mean, I had an okay time, but I wish they kind of made it more interactive. One section, like, people have to jump to get a key to cross like something, and I guess that's okay, but
Was it like across buildings, or did they just like jump?
no, like jump like across a dance floor. That was it.
Like a flat dance?
Yeah, just
floor?
a flat dance floor.
Oh, okay.
It's not, wasn't that impressive, but yeah, I mean, I'm like a big attraction guy. I like Disneyland, a lot of attractions there, stuff like that. Me and Kirk, we often visit the park. Our other host, who's not here right now. But I don't know, I wasn't terribly impressed. I mean, it was what it was.
I actually have a soft spot for those sort of things. I know we gotta move on, but like last year I didn't go to Comic-Con, and they had Blade Runner and Alien stuff, and like people know who listen that is extremely my shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, okay, yeah, the year I decided not to go, after the year I went for the first time, like that one hurt a little bit.
Yeah. The cool thing was, for the Ready Player One, I like RSVP'd, so I didn't have to wait in line.
Oh, that is
So
cool.
it's nice. Yeah.
Speaking of waiting, I'm sorry, I have to move on. But speaking of waiting, New Mutants, Dark Phoenix. We just got to talk some movie news really quick.
Okay.
We're gonna wait a little longer for those, Gene.
Yeah, wait like a whole year.
From the original date for New Mutants was supposed to come out like 2 weeks from now, and then it got moved back till next year, a whole other year, because they're going to add a character, make some reshoots.
Kind of like a subplot.
Yeah, but here's
the entire thing.
Yeah, here's the interesting thing about that for me, because I don't like going too far back behind, like, oh, see how the meat is made and whatnot. Whatever happened behind the scenes with the director in the studio and be like, we want the movie to be like this, and the director was like, I wanted it to be like this, and he was playing ball.
Yeah.
And I guess for like the first big public thing is that the studio was like, no, you're right. It should have been this way. So we're going to let you take charge of the reshoots and take your time. So now they push it back even further.
Okay.
But because they recognized they were pushing the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And I think that is cool. Because I was really looking forward to New Mutants. Because I like horror movies and I like X-Men. So that interested me a lot.
Reshoots now are not quite what they used to be. Like when you heard reshoots, it used to always be bad news, you know. And then, but there are still, you know, plenty of examples of bad news, Suicide Squad, stuff like that. But
right.
I mean, it depends on what you thought of Suicide Squad, I suppose. But you
know,
like
thoughts.
Yeah, Rogue One had some reshoots, and that went really well. Apparently, that movie—that's a new thing I heard. But apparently, that movie was a huge disaster before reshoots. And then, but then there's like reshoots in like Fantastic Four and stuff. We'll get to that. But, yeah.
No, like I mean, that's just like. We've talked about it a couple times on the show, like, yeah, reshoots, every movie goes through reshoots, you know, sometimes just like, oh, this could be a little tighter over here, maybe add a little bit more of this to flesh this out, like, it's not inherently bad, but, you know, there have been some very bad situations, and so that's kind of unfortunate, but hopefully this one turns out good, because I really like
because reshoots aren't that much of a thing, you know, everyone really gets them, but it's kind of dependent on how the film is before it goes into that.
Yeah, like Dark Phoenix, I don't know if there's any human being on the planet who's excited for another mainline X-Men movie.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Deadpool, Logan, like all these ones that are doing different things. Those are getting like way more praise and way more like credibility from audiences. So like, why are you doing this same thing? I don't fully understand.
I don't know. Trevor, what are your thoughts on the next one?
Well, I mean, you said Logan. That was in my top 10 of last year. I mean, I mean, some people liked it. I loved it. You know, I dragged my girlfriend to it. She liked it. So like, there's some mass appeal in that film of going dark and stuff. Deadpool, not really a huge fan of the first one, but I will go see the second one. So
same board. Yeah, like I don't like the character Deadpool, and I was not looking forward to the movie at all. And I saw it, and I was like, you know what? I'm probably never going to watch it again, but I didn't think it was terrible.
Yeah, no, I didn't think it was terrible at all.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and so maybe just stick to that stuff. And I guess because the whole Marvel, Disney, Fox buyout thing, there's probably going to be another Fantastic Four movie in the near future.
Yeah.
I don't know. Marvel seems to have a pretty good track record. So, like, even if I don't love all their stuff, you know, like they've never done anything that's outright like full on terrible.
Right. But you know, I'd want to see a Fantastic Four film done by like Kevin Feige, because it's like, can you believe like out of the there's 4. No, there's 4 films that they've done of Fantastic Four. The best one's the Roger Corman one.
Yeah, the first one.
Whoa, I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot there was a sequel to the.
It was
to the other one. Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, the Roger Corman one. If you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube. It's not. It's just out there.
I have not. No.
Yeah, it's surprisingly like.
It's very watchable.
Very watchable. It's not like
it's goofy. It is sincere.
Well,
it's poorly made. That's the big downfall for it, honestly. But yeah,
they all are. So by default, that one's probably got to be the best.
Yeah, you're great on a curve. This is a C+.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I mean, I really hope Marvel takes over some of the properties, because with Fox, it's like hit or miss. With some of their films.
They also have like all these weird alien characters that like you never see.
Yeah.
And like Guardians has done fine without it, and like Thor is doing better now. And it's like you could show so much more. You know, they have like Galactus, who's like the weirdest, cool Jack Kirby character ever, and they're not doing anything with them. And so it's like, just give them back. You're not using them.
Right. They almost traded them.
Yeah, and like Dark Phoenix is supposed to be in like space stuff. And it's like, we know you're not going to spend that much time there. Just give them back.
I can't imagine like a Fox production. With,
do more Logans. Do more Deadpools. Whatever. You know, just
risks.
do different things. Don't do everything else that everyone else is doing. Do your own thing. You have enough material for it.
How far along is the Fantastic Four thing? Do they have a director, or is it?
Oh no. This is just like it's kind of like an unspoken thing. Like we know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know, like it kind of.
You're seeing the signs, like launching the comic, which they had under hiatus for like 3 years.
Right.
That was the big thing for me. I was like, oh, whenever they do a movie, they're like, we're bringing Ant-Man back to the comics. Like, okay, there's an Ant-Man movie. Guardians of the Galaxy is coming back. Oh, you're doing Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Who would you want to direct it if you could pick a director?
Brad Bird. Yeah, no, I was gonna say that. Brad Bird for sure.
Well, of course, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, with the Incredibles. Yeah, okay, all right, I like that.
Or actually, I don't know how well he'd do into the Marvel thing, but J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
I like his energy.
He could, he could definitely do a fantastic.
These are like the most boring fan casting choices, but I genuinely think they'd be very good for this.
Yeah, Brad Bird was good. I like that. J.J. Abrams will do fine under the Disney envelope anyway, you know, with the Star Wars and stuff. But I don't know. Who would be like a Taika Waititi or like an Edgar Wright wild card? You know?
Rick Famuyiwa. He was going to do The Flash. He did Dope in 2015.
Okay,
which is a dope movie. Yeah. And then DC like nudged him off because they're like, we want you to do the Flash movie this way, and he was like, no. And so he cut ties, and then I think that'd be great if he got the opportunity to do whatever he wanted to next. You know?
Give it to him.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. But moving on. Now let's get to the real topics of the day. Just a little bit more history of Frida Cinema, actually. Any favorite screenings recently that you're quite proud of? You mentioned like Ghost in the Shell one.
Well, yeah, you said that Alien and Blade Runner were your shit. We did Ridley Scott month last month. That was literally last month. We played Alien, we played Blade Runner, we played the last movie I added on quite late, but it was Legend. That was our third Ridley Scott movie. Yeah.
Oh man.
Which was like, I could have played Thelma and Louise. We could have done, Gladiator or what it was.
Black Rain.
Yeah, I was like, what can I get people in here? Because I only had like 2 days to advertise it. Or we only had, I don't do the advertising, but I was like, Legend. And then the Universal was like, oh, we can only give you the director's cut, the one without the Tangerine Dream soundtrack, which, caused some divisive stuff. Yeah. But Ridley Scott does not want you to see the Tangerine Dream version.
Really?
Yeah. He wants, obviously, people to see his director's cut. So he's a big director's cut guy.
I know. I've seen Blade Runner.
Yeah, and it's like, I think that's interesting about him because he apparently works so well with studios that they're just like, yeah, dude, here's your director's cut. Do it for whatever he wants, except for like Prometheus, which is like odd to me because there's clearly like half an hour taken out of that. But
yeah,
I love Ridley Scott, but I question him a lot too.
Yeah, I'm not a big Ridley Scott fan, but I mean, you'll notice that the bookings were from 1979, 1982, and 1985, so I didn't go anywhere past that.
No Counselor?
Making movies for 40 years, 50 years almost. Yeah. So, but yeah, the director's cut of Alien is actually a minute shorter than the regular cut of Alien, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I've seen both versions multiple times. What is taken out?
So there's a lot of slow panning in the film across the spaceship, which is beautiful, but there's like 6 occasions where he'll cut a shot like 10 seconds early or 15 seconds early, and then he adds in a scene at the end with the Dallas character.
Oh yeah. Ripley finds them all Kunda.
That's the only scene added, and then everything else is taken away. So.
Wow,
interesting.
Yeah, odd fellow.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of see that, like pacing wise, you wanted it to move faster.
It helps.
Yeah, and I feel like kind of with the music in Alien, and like the slow panning, it's like 2001 or a little too much at times. But yeah, how is it? So how do you guys like acquire the prints and everything? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's not super exciting. It's like an email sent to a distributor, not necessarily the studio. If you're talking about a Disney movie or something like that, you're talking to Buena Vista. You're not talking to Disney. So and then sometimes if you're talking to like A24, like a smaller indie company, you are talking to A24. Then within like a company like Sony, there's like a Sony Pictures and there's Sony Repertory, who we work with a lot. So if it's like an older movie, then you talk to Sony Repertory, and then you just, there's contracts hashed out. They're relatively the same almost every time, and then a percentage plus I don't really like to talk about the business part of it, but it is a long process for sure. So that's why when people are like, I get a lot of the programming done through we're a community theater, so people tell me what they want to see and I'll play it. Like I said, like I happen to love Alien and Blade Runner, but people wanted Ridley Scott month. I was like, let's do Ridley Scott month then. So that's basically how I do the programming.
Okay.
Is there anything you'd like to see screened like in the future?
Yeah, what's on your wish list?
Oh man. Oh well, yeah. I have like a list of 10 movies I would like to see that. My favorite movie of all time is Jaws, and we've never played Jaws.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Which is crazy. We've been open for 4 years.
Yeah.
Apocalypse Now has not played there, which is another one of my favorite movies. But then I keep my eye on, like, I want to play, like, Argento's Deep Red has a 4K restoration right now.
I haven't seen Deep Red.
Yeah, because we played Suspiria, and that was one of my favorite things we've ever done, and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
But I think Deep Red's maybe a better film, like overall, just story-wise and all that. So I think that people will go crazy for that when we play that as well. I mean, I have a whole list.
Yeah, right. Just like fantasy football with
For
3D
sure.
programming.
Yeah. And it's not always what I like or what the executive director Logan, the founder of the Frida Cinema, him and I work very closely on programming, and we don't just program movies we like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that would be kind of like a vanity theater.
Right.
And we probably play a lot of movies that people won't show up to, because you have to find the balance between, like, oh, we'll play this art, we'll take a hit on this movie, you know, this whatever Tarkovsky movie, whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we played Stalker last year and it did well. You know, right now we're literally tonight and for the next week we're playing The Sacrifice. So eventually Solaris will be.
Okay.
Nice.
You're gonna have to make room for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, all the programming, you know, because I follow the Instagram, I follow the, you know, Facebook, and I'm always like looking at it, and, you know, it's just, you know, I'm like always wowed by how, the kind of the gems that you get, like, you know, just like stuff, or, you know, it's stuff I really like, or it's like stuff like, oh man, I can find that like on streaming, or, you know, like Fantastic Planet last year. Saw for the first time there.
Yeah, that was part of our Friday Night Freakout series, which is every Friday at 11 p.m. We play something weird or cult, you know?
Yeah.
And that was a relatively early one, and there were some people who showed up for that, which I thought was pretty cool. I mean,
I was one.
no, there was a good amount
Yeah.
who showed up for it, and I was really happy about that. So that's a weird one. That movie's weird.
Yeah. So like some of like say the cult films, do you feel like it's more risk, or excuse me, less risk to take with like a guaranteed cult like Rocky Horror, or like a Fantastic Planet?
Well, the only guarantees we do every month are the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's every second Friday of the month. Then every last Saturday we do the Room now.
Oh, okay.
And that well has not dried up. Neither of them
Yeah,
have.
it just keeps adding.
Oh, neither of them have. I mean, people show up every month for those movies, but I think Friday night at 11 p.m. is the time to play cult. Whether it's like Southland Tales,
Yes.
Yeah.
where it's like we just played that, and it's like, is anyone going to show up to Southland Tales? Like, who cares? Because we're playing Mary Poppins this weekend. So you know, it's like if Southland Tales doesn't work out, we have Mary Poppins, and then we have E.T. next week. You know what I mean? So. But then there's like the cult ones that really work out, like Hasu or Fantastic Planet or any horror movie. Literally any horror movie.
What about I think El Tobo? You guys did like 2 years.
Yeah, Jodorowsky. We played that twice since I've been there. I've been there for 2 years. We did the other series besides the Friday Night Freakouts is our director series. 1 month, it was August of last year. We did Hitchcock as our main director, and then on Fridays and Saturdays we did Jodorowsky. So El Topo, Santa Sangre,
Holy Mountain.
Holy Mountain, of course, yes,
Yeah.
and then his new movie Endless Poetry, which people really liked as well. So.
What do you think it is about horror? Like, I didn't even have this question written down. But what do you think it is about horror that keeps like bringing people to that? Because I noticed that too. Like, it's a communal experience always, whether the audience is laughing at it because they don't think it's that good, or screaming in terror together and then being like, "Oh shit," you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if this gives away when this is recorded, if you guys care or not, but I'm seeing A Quiet Place tonight on opening night.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm specifically going to a packed movie theater to see it because I want to see the crowd's reaction to such a film, you know?
Yeah.
But at our place, it's not so much encouraged at 11 p.m. on Friday nights to be interactive with the movie. You know, if it's like Rosemary's Baby, you don't talk during Rosemary's Baby.
No,
Right. Yeah.
But if it's Friday the 13th Part 2, have at it.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, go for it. And people really like that, you know? A movie I just referenced, Hasu, the Japanese film Hasu, House.
Mm-hmm.
Which is basically just a Japanese commercial in a horror form, just like one of the craziest movies ever made.
I just saw that recently.
Oh yeah. If you haven't
Yeah.
seen that, and you listen to this, watch it. Get the Criterion. Lose your fucking mind.
So,
Yeah, The Holy Mountain and Hasu were the first 2 movies of the Friday Night Freakout ever, the series, 2 years ago when it was started. And
you
they
guys
just
double feature.
oh no, sorry, they were like back-to-back Fridays.
Gotcha.
That would be a crazy double feature.
Yeah, it's like a good trip.
Yeah. But those kind of opened my mind to be like, whoa, people are like really wanting this type of movie, you know?
Mhm.
So, I mean, they're not the same type of movie,
Yeah.
but they're definitely along the weird curve, so.
They want something different, you know?
Yeah, like you can't, like you cheered for Southland Tales. Whether or not people showed up for Southland Tales, like you can't watch Southland Tales anymore. Like the Whittier Village Theater here is not going to play Southland Tales.
Yeah.
So, I try to put stuff on the big screen. Like The Great Silence is a spaghetti western that just got a 4K restoration, and I really want to play that because like that's not going to play anywhere, especially in Orange County. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, especially, I feel like, obviously New Beverly is under renovation. There aren't too many, like, Arthouse theaters just around, our general vicinity, too. So.
Yeah, definitely not around here.
Yeah, with the New Beverly completely shut down it's been over 3 months now, and no one has answered what's going on there.
Yeah, they said renovation.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
I've been skeptical from day one on that. I don't know what's going on there, but 3 months of shutting that theater down is pretty odd to me. So we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, I'm hoping for the best.
And then Cinefamily's gone, and it'll be kind of resurrected soon. But there's no real options in Orange County, certainly, but you can go up to LA. I just saw American Cinematheque is playing that revenge movie I was talking about.
Oh, that's right.
But on the same night, they're playing Mad Max Fury Road, Aliens, and The Descent. That's like a badass
crazy,
girl thing. I was like, that's awesome. That is perfect programming to me, but we played those movies all recently, so
of course.
And we wouldn't just copy programming. But
it's a little off topic, but you recently had Greg Cicero
Yes.
out there. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, Greg's awesome. He came out to kind of promote his. It was literally like 2 days before the Oscars, in which his adapted screenplay. He didn't write the screenplay, but it was adapted from his book. Was nominated for an Oscar, so it was cool for him to come out. And he was plugging his new movie, Best Friends.
Have you seen it?
I have. I saw it like a week ago.
Okay, yeah. I saw that.
Did you?
It was interesting.
Should we talk on mic about it, or?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Yeah, you guys can go ahead.
Greg's the best. He was really cool. I did not like that movie at all. It's the only movie I've ever walked out of.
Yeah. You walked out. Okay.
Yeah. I had a bad crowd too, though.
Yeah. Was it like, were they like Room fans and they were like confused, or?
Well, the first time Tommy spoke on screen, everyone cracked up. I was like, this could be good. And the movie to me was just kind of boring.
Yeah, I could compare it to, like, it's like, it reminds me of, like, it's an Arthouse film. It just happens to have the actors from The Room in it, Yeah. Like, it was just kind of.
No, to someone who hasn't seen it yet, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, no, and there's like some footage that was obviously shot on an iPhone where they didn't want to get permits, and then like the format would change. Then it would go back to normal when they were like shooting like Tommy at the morgue or whatever.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I felt Tommy did like a reasonably well job, like, for like this like weird film. He really fit.
Yeah, and that was another thing that worked. Didn't really. He's gotten a little better as an actor, and I would just rather watch him deliver his own material than someone else's writing dialogue for Tommy Wiseau. I don't know. It just they didn't. The director like would just roll the camera and let him improv.
Oh, okay.
There's plenty of scenes where like I walked out during the scene where he was talking to Greg's character's girlfriend. There's like a scene in an alley. Oh yeah. And I walked out there because it was like a 10-minute scene. I don't know why it was so long, and it was just Tommy improving with the actress, and Greg is like on camera, like what is going on? And I was like, the director needs to like rein him in.
Yeah. I mean, it was really very risky, very experimental. You know what I didn't get, like, so like his girlfriend was in Pleasanton, or like she's up north, but they live in LA.
Oh yeah.
Did you notice that?
No. There was a lot of like, they're in this part of LA now, and then they're in this part of LA. And I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Logistically, the film didn't make a lot of sense either. On top of just like, it didn't work at all for me. I don't know how else to explain it. So
it's very decisive. But how did you guys get Greg in the?
He's aware that we sell at our room screenings every month, and there's obviously a built-in audience for Greg Sestero at the Frida Cinema, of course. And that was sold out, and it was great. He brought up a bunch of people from the crowd, and they all read like scenes from the original The Room script.
Oh, Tommy's like unedited.
Yeah, he kind of just takes a back seat. He's just super cool. Like, he just lets people have at it and have fun, and he just kind of took a back seat to it all. And then he would read excerpts from his new book and all that. So he was awesome, man. That's why I feel bad saying that I didn't like Best Friends.
Well, I mean, movies are subjective.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it, you guys also had like I don't know if this was before your some of the programming, but like Bobcat Gold.
Yeah, that was well before I was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely Bobcat came out. I'm not quite sure what movie it was for, but Yeah, he was there. I've seen pictures of that. But that was before I even knew what an Arthouse Cinema was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Any other cool guests you had on that you got out to the theater?
Oh man, that's, I can't think of any right now. Oh, Penelope Spheris was just there.
That's
yeah,
right.
She wasn't there with Wayne's World, but she was there with
Okay.
Decline of Western Civilization 1, 2, and 3, as well as her kind of cult movie, Dudes. I don't know if you ever saw
I've
the
never
Dudes.
No,
seen
I
that.
haven't seen that one.
Yeah, she was rad. She was really rad. I mean, that's just the 2 people we had this month, Penelope Spheris and Greg Cicero. We're just this little theater in Orange County. So, yeah, definitely. I'm hoping we're making a name for ourselves and people will want to keep coming to us. So.
Yeah.
What do you think people could do to help support art house theaters?
Oh, well, I think that art house theaters are going to keep, getting better in terms of, like, I don't know, I think that the big theaters are the ones that need to worry, even though with the, Movie Pass is kind of helping all of us
it's
right
bringing
now.
more people in the audience
But,
in the theater. So.
I think people who go to art house, they'll always be going to art houses. I don't mean to speak like, oh, we'll be fun forever, but I think that, I don't know, it's kind of when I go to an art house, of course I'll throw $5 in a donation bin or whatever, but that's just because I understand logistically that $5 really helps that theater. I would just say that if you go to an art house theater, like, I don't know, how do I say this because I work in an art house theater, I suppose. I just be like, hey, you know what?
Just speak your mind.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? Drop a $10 bill in that donation box. It was like,
buy
no.
a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, rep the art house. Like, if you love this art house you go to, and we have a lot of people who really love the Frida, and I see them out in the wild, and I see them with their, I go to a John Carpenter concert, and I see 10 people who I know from the Frida Cinema, and they all have their Frida shirts on. I'm like, that's super rad. Like, that's how you spread the word. If I'm out and I see someone who has like this blah 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 cinema, I'm like, where's that cinema at? And they'll be, a lot of times it's in Nashville or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, well maybe I won't ever go there, but I would just like rep the theater. If it's like your home away from home, which to a lot of people at the Frida it is, I don't know, like put on for your cinema, I guess. I don't know what else to say about that. I'm not going to be like, yeah, give us money, because that's like the obvious way to help an art house theater and a
Like,
nonprofit.
Yeah, like promote it.
Yeah.
Like take a photo of the marquee.
It's just super easy to like hashtag the Frida Cinema, and we don't push that quite enough because it feels kind of corny for us because we're too attached to it. But we have people who are like being like, hey, help this theater, and they say it for us, which I think is really cool. So.
All right. I just want to thank you so much for that, because I think there's a very, on the more negative side for the bigger theaters, prices I think are the big thing kind of hurting them right now. I mean, they're talking about like, well, if we had like texting theaters and texting sections, it's like, who,
It's like it's
what?
going off in the
Like
opposite direction.
What the fuck? It's like I need to change the oil in my car, so I'm gonna replace the entire engine. It's like, no, that's not how it works.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say, like, it's, I think there's one theater in Pico Rivera that's a Cinépolis where it has like a playground in the theater. I don't know if you heard of that.
Yeah, no, I've seen that before. I didn't know there was one in Pico Rivera. But
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
I haven't been there in a long time.
There's
WC
like a-
fuck? What?
There's like a kids playground in like the middle of
In the lobby?
no, in the movie theater, like in one of the rooms.
Or,
Yeah, if you go there, like in the Cinépolis in Pico,
well, I don't want to go there now.
yeah, there's like one theater where it's like, well, your kids will play while we're watching this movie, and it's like, well, they're in the dark, they could fall, they could get injured.
Yeah.
That's not a very smart idea. But yeah, I don't get like a lot of these theaters where it's just like, let's have like bigger chairs, or like, you could text in this show. It's like, but yeah,
Okay, bigger chairs, to be fair. I totally get it.
Okay.
Like, when the AMC started implementing those new chairs, it's like,
Nice chair.
all right, those are nice chairs. I can keep my
But
feet
you know
up.
what I mean.
Yeah,
Like, I feel like to kind of like promote your theater more, you need to like preserve the experience. Like, New Beverly, like if you're texting, they kick you out.
Mhm.
And I don't know if I would go that far, but like,
We have.
okay,
Yeah. We don't have that problem though. For some
Yeah.
reason, I feel like people who come to our houses kind of get it, And I'm these bigger theaters are feeling the pressure to have to cater to these people who are like, it's either they come to our theater or they're gonna stay home tonight. And it's like for our theater, it's not like that. Because we're playing, what's it? I don't know. Name a movie. I literally just started talking. We're playing
Stalker.
Donnie Darko. We're playing soccer tonight, and you could stream those if you want, but.
you wouldn't be seeing it with people.
Yeah, I think
sure.
the experience for sure.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I think you have to sell the experience. Like if you sell anything else, like playgrounds or texting, then you're not selling like selling your product, right?
Yeah, you're not selling the movie, you're selling the idea of leaving the house.
Yeah.
Which is really odd to me, but
You could leave the house and do
Yeah.
anything.
yeah.
And like
Yeah.
it's not. I think there's like a misconception for like a lot of like other theaters that aren't like AMC or like the big chains, where it's like, oh, it's kind of snooty, you know, like
Mhm.
they're just like for the film critiques
Yeah.
and whatever. And it's like, no, they just. This is all just because people love movies and they want to like experience it, you know.
Yeah.
Like talking during, like, not talking during a movie shouldn't be like a serious point of debate. Like, there's a movie going on, just don't talk.
Yeah,
you want
it's
to talk,
rude.
go talk and don't watch the movie. That's fine.
Yeah.
You know.
There are some chains that do it really well, and there's some chains that don't do it really well. I just mean the overall experience. I like some chains. I like Edwards. There's a thing called Starlight Cinemas in OC, and they do a really good job too.
I believe that could be the same company as
Starlight also runs the
Whittier-
Whittier Village. Yeah.
Well, what do you know?
Yeah.
That's why I was talking about a very reliable theater in Anaheim, and that they're owned by Starlight, so I'm not
Really?
surprised that Whittier is owned by Starlight.
What about have you ArcLight?
ArcLight is, I mean, I like the ArcLight Dome.
Okay.
But, like, if I'm going to a movie in the Dome, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay $20 to see a movie not in the Dome.
Right.
So ArcLight is whatever. It's
Okay.
fine. I like to go to Amoeba and go to ArcLight.
Mhm.
Landmark, no, I'm not really a big fan of Landmark, but I just heard that they're accepting MoviePass now,
Hmm.
which means that I at least respect their like getting with it, you know,
Yeah.
which is cool. Yeah, but so some places do it the right way in terms of chains, and some places don't. I don't know where I was going with that, but
Yeah, just
I mean,
kind of the
obviously.
management of
Mhm.
the
Oh,
movie chains.
yeah, so if you're at an AMC and you tell them, hey, you know what, the sound's not very loud, or there's big, thick black bars on top and bottom of the screen right now, they will tell you, well, yeah, that's just how it is. See, we played at that level and we played it in that format, and we will not change it for you. Whereas the Frida, if someone comes out and says, hey, it's kind of loud in there, it's kind of not, it's never too loud, it's always really low. You never want to play it too loud, I will go, or someone who's working there, we'll go change it. Like, we'll go change it for you to make your theater experience better. And it's like, hey, that's kind of the format's a little off. And I'm like, cool, I'll go make it perfect. And you don't get that anywhere else.
Yeah.
Even at the good chains.
Oh yeah, like AMC. I think last year I saw Alien Covenant, and the sound mix was off, and there was like this little, like boop sound, like every minute.
Oh
Like
no!
you kept hearing this like one of the speakers was off, and it kept like this weird vibration, and it was in the front, so it's just like. I had to tell them like twice, can you fix that?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
maybe that's
That's
why I
too
don't
bad.
like Covenant as much.
Gotta rewatch it, man.
Yeah.
I'm still pro Covenant. I think I'm the only one though.
No, I mean, again, it goes back to you're selling the experience, and if you're not gonna make it quality, then why even sell it to people, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you guys think of eating during movies? You guys like any preference to snacks?
Like popcorn, yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't mind like food. It's just like
I was gonna say churros. Now we're gonna go to a word from our sponsor.
What are you chewing loudly into the microphone there?
Oh, I'm eating a churro from the Grizzly Churro Company.
It seems very oddly product placement.
Shut up, man. Ooh, let me get one.
I love this new sponsor, Grizzly Churro Company. Definitely the best churros in SoCal.
Yeah, they make all their ingredients homegrown.
Oh, we're not paid to say this.
If you want to find them, go ahead and find them at Grizzly Churros on their social media down below.
One. And we're back. Wasn't that great?
Yum.
Yeah. If you didn't think it was great, you should go eat them anyways, because you're wrong. But anyways, we're back, and we're going to wind down the episode now, just to highlight some more independent art house stuff. We're going to talk about some of our favorites from recent years, or just way back when, just whatever's you want, what's deep in your heart, your movie-loving hearts. Trevor, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Favorite independent films?
Yes.
Like, just full, okay. I mean, I had 3, and I know, blah, blah, blah.
No, go
yeah.
First.
What if I had like a list of 10? No, I think independent film in the horror genre is pretty great. It's always been the thing that's kind of crafted the genre of horror. So I have Night of the Living Dead, super independent, super iconic, very, literally started the zombie genre, essentially. Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Oh, yeah.
of course, kind of changed. not found footage, you know what I mean? Because it's not a found footage movie, but it may as well be kind of the thing that started found footage because it feels so real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like little nuances, like
Yeah.
you could feel the heat
Right.
of the southern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like an entirely nuanced film. There's a guy running
Yeah.
around with a chainsaw. But,
Yeah.
but it maybe had started that trend of like, I mean, we see movies like that all the time now. And then the third one is an actual found footage movie is Blair Witch, which was very independent and made a ton of money.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
most like successful,
Yeah.
like budgeted film.
Yeah, whether you like these movies or not, they're just insanely influential
Oh, of
and
course.
completely independent, all of them. So, yeah,
Yeah.
those are my answers.
Gene, go ahead.
I'm gonna pick I have there's no string quality, that strings all these together.
Okay.
I'm just gonna pick randomly.
All right.
But they're just kind of based on what that I saw in like an independent theater and independent film. But I would go with I saw it at Frida El Topo, of course. That was my first Jodorowsky movie, and that's just so wild and out there. And also, it's apparently it inspired some of the Metal Gear video games.
Really?
Yeah, in terms of each of the villains, the character encounters, there's a boss battle.
Oh, wow, I've never viewed that film through that scope. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just kind of, I find that quality very very cool about it. It's like a video game movie before video games. And I saw that Frida Cinema 2 years ago, so that was a very fun experience. Dark Star, the first film by John Carpenter, we saw at New Beverly.
My favorite director.
Yeah, oh, do that. But God, no, it's crazy because it's he started in comedy, sci-fi, and he did this as a student, I believe.
Yeah. At USC or UCLA.
Yeah.
One of those.
Well, I mean, to be fair, a lot of his movies have a biting satire to them,
Of course.
The Thing is the only one that's not flat out hilarious, and even that has moments where the dude's like, "Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding!"
It's
That's
one of the best
hilarious.
lines of all time.
Yeah, you know.
That's that's a top 5 film for me. The Thing.
Yeah. Oh, really quick, favorite Carpenter.
Oh.
Favorite Carpenter movie?
Yeah.
The Thing. It's in my top 5 of all time. Yeah. Underrated Carpenter. I like The Fog. People don't talk about The Fog too much.
It's great. It's
Yeah.
great.
It's hard to get a good print of it. Honestly, the Blu-rays that are out don't even look good. But it's a cool movie, cool concept, good atmosphere.
Of course, last one. Oh man, I'm gonna go with Diego. Just clarify if this counts. Carnival of Souls.
Carnival of Souls totally counts as
Okay.
independent. He's told. Okay, thanks for stealing my first one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. So we'll just double down.
I
on
saw that at New Beverly. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great movie. Also, huge inspiration for George Romero, rest in peace, for Night of the Living Dead. So if you haven't seen Carnival of Souls, check that out because that one's great too.
Yeah, I named 3 movies by 3 dead directors. George A. Romero, Tobe Hooper, and then I'm assuming the guy who made Blair Witch died because they all died in that movie because it was real.
Oh, yeah. For my first pick, Daisies is directed by, I never learned how to pronounce her name. She was a big member of the European New Wave eras. Vera Chitilova, I think is her name.
So I have to look this movie up.
No, it's available on Criterion with the whole Czech New Wave section. And I saw this in high school because I had a friend who was really getting into the really what I would consider artsy fartsy back then. And now I'm this is all my shit. And I was like, what's this movie? And then I saw it and it was just this hyper energetic feminist takedown of the patriarchy. And I was just my mind couldn't handle it when I saw it. And I was just I walked around the whole day being I've never seen a movie like this. I need to latch onto reality again. I gotta watch Die Hard or something. And it's to this day still one of my favorite movies. I think Near Dark qualifies as independent.
Yeah.
It was $5 million. They had no money, and they made even less than that. The box office run. Also, no good Blu-ray quality or DVD quality either. I've never seen it on film, and I'm dying to. Excellent first feature outing from Catherine Bigelow.
Yeah.
Or first solo outing. She had a co-director for her early stuff.
Yeah, we'll do a Bigelow month eventually. I've been working on it.
Near Dark.
Near Dark for sure.
Yes. Okay.
When Point Break becomes available, that'll be good.
Oh.
I've never seen. So.
Ooh, oh, you're in for a treat, my friend.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, yeah. And see, like, that's what I love too. Like, I know it's so common to have people be like, "You've never seen this movie?" Like, I think it's so exciting when people haven't seen like every
millions
movie.
of millions of movies.
Yeah, you know,
so
it's
there's
like
bound to be one you haven't seen.
yeah, and it's like you get to share that experience for the first time. That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm starting a podcast soon. That's literally the basis of it, where it's like
Oh.
I'm supposed to be the movie guy.
Okay.
Like I'm supposed to be that guy, right?
Yeah.
Like I have a list on Letterboxd of 300 films I have not seen, and if I showed you guys a list, you'd go through it and be like, "You haven't seen The Breakfast Club, or you haven't seen Godfather Part 2?" It's like, well, I've seen parts of these movies, but I cannot ever claim I've seen them. So yeah, I love the idea of someone being like, "You haven't seen Jaws?" You know, it's like, let's watch Jaws. That's another thing about programming that I love is that I also make short films and stuff like that. I'll plug it later, but I love showing movies to people. The exhibition is like my favorite thing in terms of films. So it's like when someone walks out of a theater and is like, "Man, I really liked El Topo. That was crazy." I'm like, "Great, cool." I always ask for every screening how many people have not seen this movie. It's so many hands every time, so it's exciting.
How is it like? Just touching base on this, like double featuring, because you're asking, because sometimes you do it where it's like this film where it's like someone's seen and then they haven't, like a really rare film. How is it like, kind of trying to craft someone's experience doing that?
But with the double feature, playing like an A feature and a B feature. Yeah, that's fun because you can let's take like Hitchcock for example, right? You play a Hitchcock movie that people will show up to and people will like, Psycho, whatever, and then you pick like a B Hitchcock that you don't think people have seen.
Frenzy,
that's a great movie. That's like they lifted, that was like Hitchcock at his pervious, weirdest day.
I haven't seen that one actually.
Yeah. You haven't seen Frenzy? No, Psycho, then Strangers on a Train, or like Rope, or these aren't even that much B really. These are kind of famous movies, but I love that idea of like, you've seen Psycho, come see it, and then stick around for the movie you haven't seen, and it's not going to play on the big screen really all that often. So yeah, crafting a double feature is fun. We don't do them all that often, but I really like doing double features. We're not the New Bev. The New Bev every night is playing an A feature and a B feature.
pretty much. Yeah, but it's just such an interesting experience when you double feature, because it's just like you're having like two different foods, and like sometimes they complement each other really well.
Yeah.
And, just the contrast between them sometimes make them even better experiences.
Yeah.
I'm never forgiving myself for missing the New Bev screening of Manhunter and Thief back to back.
Oh man. Thief is so
It would
good.
have been like,
I would have died. That would have been it for me. Why did
overdose for pleasure.
Yeah, I'm a big Michael Mann fan. So
A double feature we do every year is on Halloween. We play Halloween, of course, Carpenter's Halloween. And what if I was like, Rob Zombie's Halloween? No, Carpenter's Halloween.
have everyone leave.
And then on the marquee I put and question mark.
Oh.
And I just play literally whatever. The last 2 years I've done It Follows was right after Halloween.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which kind of has those Carpenter vibes, but not really. I mean, they're tangentially.
That director would have been like perfect for the Blumhouse Halloween.
Yes,
Yeah.
The David Robert Mitchell. He's a new movie coming out that I want to see.
Yeah.
That's great.
It looks like Southland Tales and mixed with paper towns.
Oh yeah, what is it? Under the Silver Lake. Check out the trailer for that if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. And then last year it was Halloween and like Scream. So it was like
Oh,
those are
it's
like
good.
those go together. Like whoa, those are two kind of iconic horror movies from different generations. But anyway, that's one double feature that I do every year, and then we try to do other ones as well.
Do you have any upcoming screenings that you want to highlight?
I break down things in my mind in terms of programming into series.
Okay.
So in April, the director's series is Nicholas Winding Refn. So we just played Drive. I know, it's a crazy one.
No,
it's a crazy
I love
one
it.
to do
I
when,
love
we
it.
when we haven't done like Coppola and like very famous directors. We don't want to just knock those all out. Like we need a Refn month every once in a while.
Of course.
But Drive, we're doing a Drive, Only God Forgives, Valhalla Rising, Bronson's coming up soon. So I'll highlight Bronson. Then we have the kids series. We call it the kids series on weekends, but mostly adults show up. That's Willy Wonka, Mary Poppins, and E.T. this month.
Ah, nice.
And then we have our staff picks. Every volunteer of the month we pick, it's a pick that month. So coming up, it's going to be Amadeus and What We Do in the Shadows. Not related at all, but those are the two movies that my volunteers really like. So we'll play it for them because they do awesome work. And then at the end of the month, my number one pick for this entire month of April is The Wicker Man, the original. Which I have not
Christopher
seen.
Lee in that like tweed jacket is the best.
I've never seen The Wicker Man.
Oh, it's amazing. It's one of my favorite horror films.
Yeah.
It's I think it's like Edgar Wright's favorite.
Yeah.
One of his favorites.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down and watch it for sure. That'll be one that even if I'm on staff at the time, I will sit down and watch it for sure. I'm excited for that one. it's cool for me to get excited for a movie that's playing at their own theater, but
Yeah, I know. No, man,
I never
that's
really
great.
get to watch the movies. You know, another double feature we did was The Thing and American Werewolf from London, and I didn't get to watch either of them.
Oh, no,
So,
that's too bad.
yeah. I mean, Scott Pilgrim stuff, just amazing stuff we do all the time. I don't get to. I sometimes it's like, do I want to be a patron or do I want to work there? It's like I want to work there. I want to show these movies to people. I've seen these movies, not on the big screen, but I've seen them. So I like showing them to people.
Yeah, like I couldn't be in charge of the theater like that because then I'd just be like, all right, let's watch Near Dark. Let's watch Heat.
Yeah.
Let's watch it again.
Let's watch it again.
I would go power
and
hungry.
then let's watch
Yeah.
Black Hat.
And let's watch
7
Black Hat.
times.
Yeah, that's Michael Mann month every month. And
Yeah,
I would just get lost.
Michael Mann has not happened yet. We've done 12 directors. We've been on for a year. It's coming. You know, like Michael
He'll
Mann.
be there every day.
I will
Yeah.
be there. He's not kidding.
Yeah, we're doing a director next month that I can't say because
Okay.
what if it falls through? Then I look like an idiot. But
Yeah.
he's someone who a lot of people consider the best director of all time. It's a foreign director.
Okay.
And we got 4 just like bangers coming right.
My brain's already like, who's?
I mean, you could guess, but I'm not gonna say.
Yeah.
But like, it's like the director. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He's not American, so go for it.
Okay. Try to guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys will see that.
The college are turning. I was gonna like head us out for the episode now. I'm
Yeah.
like, I got like the whole
Yeah.
Charlie Day thing from It's Always Sunny.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
right now.
It's if you had the Charlie Day thing, it would just be the name at the top. It's just like, blah blah blah. That's the person, you know.
Carol.
Yeah.
Carol. Okay, well, I think that pretty much wraps up for this episode. Last minute plugs. Anyone?
Well, I already plugged the Frida Cinema, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention I make short films. I made a short film last year called Foxwood. That was like a kind of a horror comedy. It just got into a bunch of festivals. And
Oh,
Hey,
my buddy,
congrats.
thank you. My buddy who I make the films with, Ian Hawk, would be mad if I didn't plug at Ghost Party Pictures on Instagram.
Oh,
Yeah,
all that.
yeah, I'm here for the Frida, but you know, I also would like
Of
to
course,
plug.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
And then
you're a human being. You got
Yeah.
a life. You know, you got other stuff going on.
I would love if you guys have me back when I start my podcast.
Oh,
You know,
Oh, for sure.
or
Just
I
let
would-
us know.
I would
We'll
love
make
to
it
have
happen.
you
It's
guys.
been fun. Yeah, that's
I want you guys to come on the podcast and yell at me and just be like, "You haven't seen that movie?" Yeah, so that's
Is that the title for it? You haven't seen that movie?
honestly, like, I am thinking of a title right now, and it's going to be one of those annoying, kind of longer ones, like, How Did This Get Made, or something like that, where it has, like, a punctuation mark at the end. So, yeah.
Okay, no, for sure. I mean, Gina and I'd be happy to
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
have you back or to go over whenever.
Separately, though, I don't want you guys to listen.
No, that's fine. I don't
No,
know.
yeah.
I'm like
Yeah.
that much anyways.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
He can't see us. Well, you can't see us whispering right now.
Gene, plugs.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, G9892. I don't think I'm plugging anything. Yeah, just
Geostorm.
Oh yeah, I already plugged that at the beginning
Yeah.
of the show.
Geo-Disaster, excuse me.
Yeah, that's all I have right now.
Sorry, Silent Geo-Disaster. Anyone else plugs?
You guys can follow the comic book store at Undercity Comics.
All right.
Good comment.
Hey, I have a really annoying one last plug.
Go for it.
You guys will be
Go for
happy about it, though.
Yes.
Okay.
We have a thing coming up on May 4th. It's a 12-hour science fiction marathon. We did one in October called Camp Frida.
Okay.
That was 12-hour horror. This on May 4th is a 12-hour science fiction marathon.
Oh my gosh.
It starts with Serenity.
Oh,
no.
wow.
It ends with The Fifth Element
Yes.
at like 6 a.m.
Damn.
Damn.
And in between, it's just, we don't say what the movies are. You just got to show up. And I think I'm allowed to say they're great.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know, I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
That's
yeah.
on May 4th. It's $20, and I'm pushing it. I can't believe I almost forgot it. It's such a cool
Yeah.
event.
Yeah.
I don't care.
You know, I'm gonna have to try to get there.
Did I say it was called Starship Frida?
Starship?
Starship Frida. That's what it is.
Oh my god, that's
I have a
amazing.
feeling one of the movies already. So the title alone is like, I have a feeling one movie will
Well, I guess I know what I'm doing May 4th.
Oh
then.
yeah.
Last plugs for me then. DEWGO Waffles on Twitter. Like, subscribe, check out the rest of the podcast. We're doing the middle of our Hannibal Lecter retrospective. We're back up and running. Just released Silence of the Lambs. Hannibal up next. Ridley Scott. You might be surprised by someone's reaction in that episode to that movie,
Right,
and
I
it
know
was
how it goes.
not me.
Ghost is funny.
If you didn't like this episode, like and subscribe anyways,
Yeah.
because you might find something you do like. Don't be an asshole.
Of course, yeah, and there's reviews on there, and yeah, we have some good content and interviews. Oh, I'd like to thank Min, the cameraman.
Yay! Thank you so much, because Kirk died.
Yeah.
He's not dead. He's alive, but he's not here today, so he might as well be dead to me. But thank you so much again for listening. Thanks for watching. We have been professionally unprofessional.